of small children shooing away to do. And it was a little bit of a challenge, but I'm all good now. Thank you for your patience.
No
Uh,
problem.
so, Wendy, I really wanted to. First of all, I just love this program. Obviously, it's just so inspirational, and I thought that this would be great for our viewers to hear about, especially in light of the 20-year anniversary. So, if you wouldn't mind placing a record on our call, as we discussed, that would be really helpful for me. And then we can use part of this, if not the whole thing, on air. But I would love to also discuss, if you had any suggestions for me, maybe you can email me afterwards, of people who've actually gone through the program many years ago and just, how it impacted their life.
Sure.
Okay, awesome. So, Wendy, why don't we start with your full name? If you could just say your full name and your title for me so that we can have it on record.
Wendy Onstein, Manager, Leeds Grenville Small Business Enterprise Center.
Wendy, at what point did you become involved with the summer program? Were you there since the beginning?
No, I've been here for 15 years.
And tell me a little bit about the background of this program. You know what, Wendy, why don't I start actually, in case we do end up taking more from the beginning, I'm going to start with a proper hello so that we have that, if you don't mind. Forgive me, I'll just backtrack for a quick second.
So Yelna, I also wanted to introduce you to Jeanette Johnson. Jeanette is the Business Development Coordinator, and she's on the call as well.
Oh, so hi, Jeanette.
Hi, Yelena.
Hi, how are you?
Great. It's nice to meet you.
It's nice to meet you as well. Okay, so logistically, it might be a little bit tricky if I have two different voices coming in. I'm wondering if we could either one of you feel comfortable to sort of be the main voice for the interview?
Well, it's fine. Yeah. Wendy can do that.
Yeah.
Oh, great. Okay. And then obviously afterwards, by all means, if there's something that you wanted to add or just share that we might not know about, please, after we say our goodbyes, I won't get off the phone. We can get a chance to do that with you as well.
Okay.
Okay, super. Hi, Wendy.
Good morning.
I would love to start off by asking about the nuts and bolts of this program. What exactly does it do when someone signs up for it?
So it provides them a real life experience for running a business over the summer months. So they have to do a business plan to enter. The business plan has to be approved, and they have to go through an interview process. And then once approved, they have to run their business just like any other business owner in the province of Ontario. They have to register the business, report financials, do their marketing, balance their books. They get a real life experience.
And what's the typical age?
You have to be 15 years of age or older, so it's from 15 to 29, but we see mostly late teens.
Okay. So this has been going on for 20 years. Tell me a little bit about why this program was founded in the first place.
So I think it was founded. So it's a provincially funded program, and it was funded just to provide youth an opportunity to try on entrepreneurship.
It's really incredible. I'm wondering also just the connections to your local community. How has it impacted the local community?
Well, it certainly contributed financially because year over year, the participants are able to contribute to the local economy, and also it really is a sense of community. The community mentors love the program. It provides employment for those students. So yeah, it's a really neat program.
Tell me about the way that you've seen it develop, evolve over the last 20 years.
So it was very much a kind of a self-directed program when it was started, because the small business centers have been around for between 25 and 30 years, some of them. We're 25. And so, just like any new program, it was kind of finding its way. We, in the last 20 years, I would say that we have provided a more structured approach to the program, where the participants are actually sit down with other community leaders and business owners and they get their perspective. They get coaching and mentorship and really excellent training from the Small Business Center and from the mentors that we have in our team. So it's really, it really has evolved and changed over time. Just improving it along the way. We've listened to, like, we do when we do an exit interview with participants at the end of each summer, and they provide us with really great input. Some of the things that they have told us we've put into place. So we're always looking for ways to improve the program.
Share some of the stats. The people that go into this program, are they really inspired to continue in their entrepreneurial approaches and strategies throughout the rest of their lives?
They say they are, and the stats prove they are. That about 40% of the people that go through this program do, in fact, end up being self-employed.
And give us a few, if you can rhyme off 3 to 5 examples of the kinds of businesses we're talking about here.
Well, obviously, lawn care and odd jobs and that kind of thing are popular in the summertime, and there are ones that are easy to start because the demand is there. Also, farm markets. So we have had actually some of our highest earners in the program do grow vegetables and flowers and that kind of thing, and sell them to the farmers at farmers markets or at farm gate. We've also had some really great people in the arts. So last year we had someone who did vocal lessons and performing, and made a fair chunk of change doing that.
A really big variety there.
Yeah.
Wendy, can you share with me just maybe one of the stories that perhaps really touched you, that moved you in terms of how someone developed in their lives and what they were able to do with this kind of training?
I probably can think of a couple of people that we have helped. So one of them was a magician, and he actually started to work with us when he was really young. I think he was about 11 when he did our like a kids boot camp with us. And he went on to do summer company. And he, although he's not working full time in his business right now, the skills that he's learned over a period of time have given him those employability skills that were transferable into a job with the federal government.
So he's a magician with the federal government?
No, he does events and that kind of thing. So he makes sure that all the equipment works, and because he's been an entertainer, he knows how important that is and how to set it up, and so that's what he's doing.
Oh, wonderful. Okay. Sorry, you were going to add?
I was just going to say the other thing that we see is a tremendous boost in confidence over the summer. So somebody will come into us and they're really, really shy and maybe not even able to, speak in front of people. They're too shy to do that. And as the summer progresses with encouragement from us and from the mentors and gaining confidence by seeing what they actually can do, they're different people at the end of the program. So that's really, that's awesome, right?
It's so reassuring, for sure. Well, let me hear from, you mentioned that, is it Susan that's on the line as well?
Jeanette.
Oh, I'm sorry, Jeanette. Jeanette, could you say your full name for us and your title?
Sure. Jeanette Johnston, Business Development Coordinator and Summer Company Coordinator.
Hi, Jeanette.
Good morning.
I would love to ask you a question about the impact of this kind of a program in light of the times that we are living in with the reality of COVID-19. So many people losing their jobs, but again, also so many business owners losing their businesses. Can you share a little bit about your perspective on this program in light of the times that we're in?
Yeah, I think this program this year, specifically in 2020, was an amazing, uplifting experience for the community. we were a bit worried at the beginning of the summer that we wouldn't get good applicants, or that we wouldn't get any applicants. But we thought, no, we're going to try it. We're going to go ahead with the program, because many of the small business centers did not go ahead with the program this year. And so we put the word out, and we received some really great business plans and accepted our 6 participants. And remarkably, they have all made sales, and our cumulative total and earnings per capita are higher than they have been in probably 4 or 5 years. So
Wow.
these participants went above and beyond our expectations in terms of being able to adapt to the new times, and we're able to engage and sell product and services. So we're pretty proud and pretty stoked about the impact that they've made in the community.
In these times, do you think it's a safer bet to be employed by someone or a safer bet to be an employer?
Mm. I don't think one or the other in a general sense is either better. I think it really depends on the type of business or employment you're in, because there are many sectors who are actually thriving in this atmosphere, and then there's others who are not. So I think that it could go either way, but I think there's lots of opportunity in the new way, the new normal, and we'll see many more businesses, new businesses pop up. So there might be a bit more opportunity for potential small business owners, because they're able to get up and start something new and get going.
So, Jeanette, the last question then is for people who are listening to us and they are terrified of the idea of going out on their own, but they feel like they're maybe forced to, or that they need to reinvent themselves. What advice do you have for them?
Really great question. Having a supportive team around you, whether that's family or friends or other like-minded individuals, is very important when thinking about starting a new business, and that hasn't changed between before COVID and after COVID. That's the same. So if you've got a really great team, you've got a bit of money to invest, and you think your idea is a good one, then you reach out to people like Wendy and I at the Small Business Center. There's 54 small business centers across Ontario, and run the idea by someone to see if it's something to try out. So taking baby steps and moving forward based on having conversations, I think, is a great way to abate some of that fear that might be there for people who want to start a business.
Thank you so much for spending a little time with us. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome.
And thanks to you as well, Wendy. Thank you.
You're welcome.
That's wonderful, ladies. That was so helpful. And I'm wondering if you could also just perhaps either after our call or even on the call, you could point me to someone that you think would make a great guest who's been through the program. And in an ideal world, I know this isn't always possible, so that's fine, but it would really be great to hear from someone who perhaps comes from more of a marginalized community that wouldn't even think of starting their own business, or someone who doesn't have necessarily any support systems in place, whether it's someone from an Indigenous community or any other underprivileged kind of community. That would be amazing, but I understand if that's sort of not possible. My main request would just be if you wouldn't mind connecting me with someone who can really speak passionately to this topic and to the experience that they've had. Is that a possibility?
Yes, it is. So the person that immediately kind of jumped into my mind was somebody who's a CPA in Toronto now, and he spent the summer of 2015, I think it was. When was it, Jeanette? 2014?
2013.
2013. I was right the first time. He sold vegetables and like potatoes and corn and that kind of stuff at Farmgate and at the beer store in Prescott. So, and he made a lot of money that summer. But he's not, I don't believe he's self-employed. No, he's not. He's working for a large firm.
Ah, so a bit of a hybrid.
Yeah.
Speaks
So
he speaks very clearly about how Summer Company and his experiences there translate back to what his experience is with the large company he works for and how he applies that information that he learned. So he's very well spoken.
Okay, well, I'd love that. Yeah, if you wouldn't mind, I know you've got my email, Wendy. If you could drop me a little quick line to perhaps connect me with him, so that, or an email address or some way
yes,
to get in touch, I would
yeah,
love it.
okay.
And yeah, this is so wonderful. So just to let you know that what I plan to do is we're going to have an interview on the weekend with, hopefully it'll work out to have him on the air. And then we'd love to play snippets from our conversation just now so that we can kind of punctuate his experience with some of the, like I said, nuts and bolts of how everything works. So, this has just been really helpful for me to also get a good sense of how it works, as well as some of the stats, because I think they're incredibly impressive. And I
Mm-hmm.
love the comment that you made about reminding people how many centers there are across Ontario. I think a lot of people would not be aware of that, and that's a resource that's there for them. So that's really
Mm-hmm.
helpful too.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, super.
The small business network that's funded by the province of Ontario is a powerhouse, and quite frequently people don't know about us. But yeah, we've been around for a while, and we have helped launch thousands of businesses in Ontario.
Literally thousands.
Oh yeah,
Literally
oh
thousands.
yeah, thousands.
Wow, that's just incredible.
Yeah, yeah. So we'll also tell you what ministry. I'll email that to you. What ministry it is, because I'll just screw it up.
Sure.
It
Yeah.
changes. It changes
They
every
change their
5.
name every 6
Of
months.
course.
So.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
No,
we'll
no
pick
worries.
the appropriate ministry that this program has fallen under for the last 20 years. And I'm a little bit surprised that there wasn't more of a splash across the whole province, right? But I think partially it's just because government is in such a state of, I don't know what you'd call it, with all the other stuff that's going on. But I mean, I don't know anybody else that celebrated the way we celebrated last week. And it was friggin' awesome. I have to tell you, it was friggin' awesome.
You had all these participants on the line at once
Yeah.
together.
Well, I
Yeah.
mean, we had a number of them. We had about 50 people on the call, but I mean, it was dynamite.
What
It
made
was,
it so great? What made it so good?
so what made it so good is just, from our perspective, we put together a slideshow of some of the photos we had taken for over 20 years, and obviously not everybody got, in the slideshow. But to see how many lives that this program has actually impacted is incredible. So we've had about 200 people in Leeds Grenville that this program has touched, and either just made them decide that entrepreneurship was for them, or absolutely took it off their list. Said, my son is one of those people who said, I will never work for myself. This is too hard. And others have said, I will never work for anybody but me. I'm the best boss in the world. So that, and the fact that, some of our mentors that give so much to the program and don't get paid, they sat in on, and honestly, some of them were moved to tears. It was amazing.
Moved to tears because of the stories and just seeing the faces?
Yeah, just
Yeah.
the stories
And
and the
we-
faces.
We had some entertainment too, Yelena. So past participants who were musically inclined performed, and we pre-recorded and we showed the video in intervals. So it was just like a live event. We had entertainment, we had testimonials, we had some laughs, and we had toasts, and it was an amazing event.
You have to send me some of the live performance. I would love to hear that. Can you send a file of the actual event?
So we're just working on getting it uploaded to YouTube, and then I can share the link with you for sure.
So
Amazing.
Could you send her Michael's performance today? Could we do that today?
Yeah, if I can get Brandon to upload it, because he's got a copy. Carol's not able to upload it from the cottage.
No.
So I'd have to get Brandon.
That would be
to.
really fun if we could play a little bit and you just let me know his full name and the title of the song. That would be fabulous.
So
Sure.
he's saying at the we ended with "You Raise Me Up," and this guy, his name is Michael Fenn, and he's going to go places. He has a beautiful voice. So I
And
mean,
a beautiful business.
and well, he's at Queens, so he did Summer Company last summer, and he's attending Queens. He went last year and is going back this year in the music program.
And
And
he is attempting to move his business, his voice lessons online. That's a bit of a challenge. So he's kind of experimenting a bit with how that's going to work.
Well, you know what? I wouldn't mind his contact info as well, because then he might be a great other option to speak with as well.
yeah,
Sure.
yeah.
Okay.
So we'll send you a couple. We'll send you a couple of options.
Thank you so much, ladies. I can't tell you how much I appreciate this. It's just been wonderful to hear from you.
So when will this be on?
Yeah, I mean, I'll certainly email you specific details and a
Okay.
link to the live stream. But just so you know, in general, Fresh Air is on CBC from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. on Saturdays and Sundays. And it's also live streamed, so I can send you the link so that can be sent out on social media. And yeah, and I'll closer to the weekend, I'll know exactly who will end up being the feature guest for the interview, as well as what time exactly it will be on. So I will make sure that you have all that info.
Okay. Yeah, my husband and I won't tell him.
Yeah,
we listen to Fresh Air all the time. I won't tell him.
that will be wonderful. He'll get a good smile.
Either that or
I think you're crazy. Yeah, I love it.
yeah, he'll increase my salary for sure.
Okay, well, listen, have a fabulous day. And thank you, if you don't mind sending me the recording of this call. It's just so helpful. Thank you.
Yes. Okay, Yana.
Okay, take care. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
So who are we going to send?
Well, Drew and Michael, do you want to give them like a Zach or a Mitch as a third?
They're all guys. Can you stop the recording?